Are we in here? Testing. 1, 2.
Click the link.
3, 4. Mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2.
3.
We in here. We in here. Because I'm TV.
Mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2. 3. We in here. We in here. Because I'm TV.
Mic check.
1, 2, 1, 2. 3.
There we go. Sorry, y'all. We're new to this. We don't have the team anymore. So we're just we're here.
Making sure we still here.
What's
up, y'all?
What is up? We're back. We're going to talk about Black Lightning season 4 because we had to finish this out with you guys. I cannot believe this is the end.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
But clearly, they have some tricks up their sleeves for us this season.
Obviously, because something ain't right. It's a little vibe they got that ain't right.
Yeah, something's off, but we're gonna get into it. But if you're new, hi, my name is Drew, and this is my lovely co-host,
Portia.
And if you don't know, now you know, because we've been here since day 1 of Black Lightning, and we want to finish it out with you guys because we love this show.
We
do so much. But let's talk about this episode because there's just like a lot to get into.
Oh, yeah. I hate to sigh like that because I'm excited for it to be back, but that was just a lot. I guess the way it ended, it's always a lot to see an ending like that, and you want to know, like, who about to catch our girl?
Yeah.
Because she just passed out in mid-flight.
Yeah. Let's start from the top, though. It's a year after. So they've given us a year after everything. So It's a year since Henderson. RIP to a real one. It's a year since the Markovians. So we're seeing where everyone's picked up. And Jefferson is on the struggle bus.
Yeah. He having a hard time. And I can understand that. Grief is not easy.
It is not.
He is really grieving. And it's like we get to see, I guess, inside what it is to be a strong Black man trying to deal with grief, as well as having a family, trying to navigate that family. They're not listening to him. So he just all the way tapped out. And he's not in a state of, he wants to be vulnerable and intimate with his wife and all of that. He's just really having a hard time. And my heart goes out to him because grief ain't easy. And if I was in his position, I don't know what I would be doing right now.
I definitely feel that. And I definitely can understand how, especially for our Black men, it is hard to be vulnerable. However, I do think that
you think he's tweaking?
I think he's tweaking a little bit, but
he is definitely tweaking.
I do think that there's the people around him are supporting him in a way. Like, I feel like Gamby was supporting him.
Okay, they do their best.
Lynn took a minute, but I also think like
Lynn just now coming around.
But I don't think that's fair on Lynn because Lynn was also battling
a drug addict.
She was battling her own demons, and she also, she's trying to figure out stuff with her daughters, work it out with her daughters. And I think sometimes, as we saw towards the end of the episode, where Lynn, admits that she was wrong and she realizes, you've been hurting for a long time. And Jefferson, rather than be vulnerable, just says, I'm fine. And I feel like a lot of times Black men don't want to be vulnerable because they don't want to look weak, even when an environment's being created for them to be vulnerable.
But look, when you think about it, think about their marriage counselor. She literally said that because vulnerability is like the first stage of intimacy. Like outside of sex, like intimacy has so many different components to it, but vulnerability is like the first stage. She literally said that in order to be intimate, you have to trust that person. Jefferson don't trust Lynn. So at the end of the day, if I know that you was once on that stuff and you be having some tricks up your sleeve and you could probably be on that stuff again, if I'm having a hard time, I can't trust you to catch me. I can't trust you to be there with your arms open wide when I fall because I'm always in pick you up mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the strong friend trying to help the friend who always crying. You know what I'm saying? Like if your friend who always crying see you at a weak point, how does that even work?
Right. But I think I think she is trying to work at it, because even when the therapist was talking about intimacy, Jefferson instantly took it to sex. And Lynn was like, that's not the only thing that intimacy is. It goes beyond. Like, Lynn had the emotional intelligence to know that intimacy is, yes, trust, and it goes beyond sex. But Jefferson kind of just took it too.
But that's why
that let me
right, and then that's okay. He want that action.
He want that.
But that's why the counselor was like kind of explaining it, because she was like, okay, this is an issue, but that just goes back, like the lack of vulnerability or the fear of being vulnerable is so deeply embedded that he can't tell the difference between being intimate with somebody and then being sexual with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't see the difference right now.
Do you think it's fair to say that he's hard-headed?
Yeah, but we always knew that.
But to a point where it's getting problematic, because he's not only combating with Lynn, but now it's also his daughters, and he's basically it's my way or the highway. He's not listening to anyone's intake. Anissa is a grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but there's a point where I'm I'm an adult now, so you're not going.
Yeah, but Jefferson has always been this way, and it's kind of one of those things like when you old, you stuck in your ways type. You know how they be saying stuff like that. And I believe that Anissa is very insensitive right now. Because she's focused on her situation with Grace being in the hospital, and she can't get a hold of her sister as much as she tried. This was like my sister. If you put Anissa where she is, her sister is more powerful than her, but she hot-headed and she all over the place. Can't keep it together. Girlfriend, her fiance is in a coma, been there for a year. Her daddy tweaking out, ain't helping them, and her mama was once on drugs. She don't know what to think about her mama either. Everybody see Lynn working, but they don't know what to really think. You know what I'm saying? So Anissa, she on her own thing. She is, as it pertains to Jefferson, definitely insensitive in that realm.
I don't think she's being insensitive though. I think she is putting her feelings and personal loss aside for the greater good. I don't think it's necessarily a selfless act. I do think she's fighting crime and all that to keep herself distracted.
Yeah.
But I do think that she's right in the fact that Freeland still very much needs us. So we need to still, especially now that Tobias is alive, which we knew Tobias was alive, but they are just now finding out Tobias is alive, and now he is rehabilitating his entire image.
I'm so sick of this man.
I love him.
I am so sick of this man. He's so slick. He's so slick. He's
He's just fine and evil to me, and I just enjoy it.
Dang.
I like him as he's a villain. I really enjoy him as a villain. I think out of all the Arrowverse villains, he's my favorite.
Yeah, if I was to see him as a villain on the show, I would love it too. Because I'd be like, oh, Tobias, I know him. But yeah, he a little crazy. But what I didn't understand was his daddy, Jefferson's daddy, coming to the gravesite with him. Why he just appear like that? Why they do that? It creeped me out a little bit. What they doing? Or maybe it's a subconscious thing because he was drunk.
Yeah, I think it was just a subconscious thing.
Okay. And then he was saying some weird stuff. The man said, people out here dying that they never died before. I don't get when people say that.
Well, no, he's just.
What do you mean? No, my thing is people dying who ain't died before. Of course, they ain't died before.
But what he's saying is of course you're not going to understand how to handle this particular situation because this person's never died. You've never lost it Henderson before, so of course you're not going to know how to how to move on.
The people dying who ain't never died before phrase. It's not okay. When people say that, that's not okay. That don't make no sense to me.
It makes perfect sense because it's saying you don't know how something's going to affect you till it happens.
That's like saying people being born who ain't never been born before. What, duh?
Yeah, and you don't. But that's what I'm saying. Though, Well, it's like, okay, here's an example of how that makes sense. Men always talk about, oh, I stopped being a dog when I had a daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're always like, oh, I was a player, and then I had a daughter, and it changed everything. They didn't know that they weren't going to be a player anymore, but they had a daughter, and now they're like, oh, now I changed my ways. When like a birth or a death affects you, and you never know how it's going to affect you until it happens.
So the phrase is for the people receiving, not the person that it's happening to.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Because it's like,
that's the only way that's going to make sense to me.
Your high school teacher could pass away, and that's going to affect you one way, but your grandmother passing away is going to feel completely different than your high school teacher. So you're not, just because you've experienced death doesn't mean it's going to affect you the same way every single time.
So that's how people is dying who ain't never died before.
Yes. Yes, Chuck. Can we talk about Gamby? Because Gamby got him a little
boo thing. Okay. Gamby.
Yeah.
Come on with the Gamby.
She said, I'm going to use this information that you're alive now. I was like, ooh.
She said to her advantage, she said, I hope so.
Ooh, I said,
if Gamby got him somebody, I can have me somebody, okay?
Yeah, hold up. Don't play Gamby, because Gamby's a handsome older man. He's a handsome fellow, okay?
Okay, he
was looking good with his little rolled up button-up sleeve. I was like, go ahead.
Gamby do what it do. So what I like about this lady is, she come in on the slick and slide, but she don't just come in to like flirt and all of that. She got business.
Is this
she trying to employ him?
Yes. Is this the woman that he hinted at last season, though?
What did he hint?
Do you remember there was like he kind of hinted that there was it wasn't on the show, it was when I interviewed him. Go over the AfterBuzz.
Oh, hold on, we got a little special.
No,
we got a little exclusive.
We talked about it last season too. We talked about it on the show. But he was saying that we were going to get to see more of Gamby's behind the scenes, because he does talk about like a woman. He did talk about a woman on season 3. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he did kind of hint that there was like somebody from his past. And I think this lady is her.
I'm here for it. I don't know who she is or where she came from, but I'm here for it, okay? Because everybody needs some love. Jefferson got love. He don't know what he's doing with it right now. Anissa Love is in the hospital. Jen, her love is, we don't know what a man at, but now we got Gamby and he got some love. It's just because if all the other relationships are failing, we need somebody to, like Anissa and Grace, we've been riding on them for a long time. Like what, season 1 was Jen and Khalil, season 2, Anissa and Grace, then Jefferson and Lynn came back together for a little bit till she got on that stuff. And so now we don't got nobody. So it's good to see somebody out here getting something, a little love.
Yeah, we need a little love. But I'm interested.
And it's Love Month.
Oh, yes it is.
Yes, it is. Why do you look so down when you say that? It's been
a long quarantine.
It has. As long as they've been going through it, that's how long we've been going through it. It's literally been a whole year since all of this has happened. Like,
period. It's a mess. Speaking of a mess, so Lynn is messing with meta DNA and is now still using power. So she's not on the stuff, but she is using their DNA to have powers. And it's lasting longer every time.
Yeah.
I would not be against Lynn having full-on powers by the end of the show.
I'm not against it too, because I love when she stalked old dude, took him out. I love when she fought a gravedigger. Like, I love when she used people like his powers against him. Mm-hmm. I love how she escaped out of the little Markovia little situation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for it. And the thing about Lynn having powers is she's smart. She's a genius. So she knows what powers to have, when, and what for, right, and how to operate them. She's not just out here willy-nilly with stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would love to see her in uniform eventually. I know this is the final season, so I'm really the wheels are already spinning for how this is going to end, and I'm just like, how are we going to do this? How is it going to go? So I'm trying to decide, like, how are they going to end all of this? Like, are they just going to kill off the whole family? Are we going to get a happy ever after? Are they going to be just like something happens and they don't have powers anymore and they get to retire?
I'm actually really scared at what's happening, and it looks like the downfall is going to be Jen, because she is the most powerful metahuman, like the most powerful one that they have a record of, right? Mm-hmm. And so now that she done collapsed in midair and she's falling, I think that's going to have something to do with like the fall of the family. Yeah, because she has literally been the one who like makes the family go up in an uproar for this whole entire time. Like her life, her situation, her powers, her love life, this whole Black Lightning thing literally has been centered around her. Like when Jefferson turns up is literally because she got kidnapped first episode. Yeah, like everything that has happened literally has happened because of Jen. And so to see her go down, I think that's going to be the fall of the family, and everybody else is going to go down because Jefferson is tripping. He out here, no soup, no nothing, shanking fools, like taking out the cop. They deserve that.
Let's rewind.
They deserve that.
Let's jump back a little bit so people know where we're going with this. So beginning of the episode, Jefferson's driving home, sees one of his students just with his violin, minding his business, and he gets stopped by two cops. Stop and frisk that goes very violent, very quick. And Jefferson, in no suit whatsoever, except his business suit, his Sunday suit, if you will, decides to light the ass up. And not only that,
very well deserved.
He zaps their memory so they don't remember what happened. And so this kind of gets the new chief of police and this new detective that we're being introduced to kind of on his case a little bit. And they know that something is not adding up with him. What do we think of these two new? Let's start with the chief of police. Lopez, I think is her name.
Anna Lopez. She definitely is figuring it all out quick. Like she's 2 steps ahead. She on her toes. She already know, like, okay, he ain't got no explanation. He got to be Black Lightning. And then she already know that when he did what he did to old dude, like it has to be a reason why he did this. So she probably gonna find that out too. I feel like she's already like 2 steps ahead of the game, and she's so strict, and she don't care. She don't care that Jefferson is, Henderson's friend. She doesn't care that they May used to be, letting each other slide with stuff. Like she don't care about nothing.
She has so when we are introduced to her, she has a very like all metas need to be tracked, hunted, very like it's giving very much like anti-immigrant in real life. It's very anti-meta on the show. There's definitely a lot of parallels I've noticed in this episode, like make Freeland great again. Tobias says that.
The devil.
But yeah, she wants everyone tracked. They want to know the capacity of the powers.
She dang near Odell at this point.
Yeah, I don't like.
She dang near Odell.
I'm not a fan of her at all. I am interested in this new detective. His name is slipping me. He's real fine.
He is fine, and he eats sunflower seeds.
He's real fine, but he's trusted by Henderson. And so he apparently leaves behind, Henderson leaves behind the phone and a letter for Jefferson. And this guy doesn't really like Black Lightning because he's abandoned Freeland essentially. And what do we think of him? Because his intentions aren't necessarily clear yet.
Yeah, I think he is like too new for me to have any say so on him. I just like the fact that he's fine. I like the fact that, he eats sunflower seeds like a full bag of them. Like, pass me some of them. You know what I'm saying? I like that, he's smart too. Like, putting pieces together, 2 and 2 together. I feel like if Jefferson would have had that letter out when he came into the office, he would have definitely figured it out right then and there. Like, that's Black Lightning. But, yeah, he's too new for me to have homegirl, the detective, the chief of police is already disliked. She already negative, like already giving negative vibes. But him is like kind of hard to tell because he really, even though he says he doesn't like Black Lightning or he, got an attitude with him right now, we can tell that he loves him and he has his faith in him.
He gives me like early Henderson vibes. Before Henderson knew Black Lightning was Jefferson.
Yeah. Because they used to work together.
Yeah. He gives me that energy. And I think that'll be an interesting dynamic to explore because, like with Henderson and Jefferson, they've been friends for forever.
Yeah.
So, like, that relationship was able to be mended once he found out that he was Black Lightning because there was so much history. There's no history with this guy.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that plays out, especially because this guy kind of blames, well, not kind of, definitely blames Black Lightning for Henderson dying.
And but my thing is, when he walked up into the office, they knew Black Lightning did that. Who else gonna fire up the car like that? Who else gonna burn everything to crisp? They knew who it was. And my thing is, why you come to Jefferson if y'all knew who it was? They trying to see. I feel like they was intentionally trying to see if Jefferson was Black Lightning, and I think they kind of figured it out.
Yeah,
because he was, real reckless. Like even when I remember, I thought he was daydreaming. I said, hold on, is this a dream or he really about to do this? I thought he was daydreaming, but no, he was fed TF up and he had to do what he had to do. And I agree, but he should have definitely had on his suit if he was going to use his powers.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what Jen and Anissa have been up to. They are still fighting crime. They're getting very good at it. They've got their spiel. They've got their bulletproof Jeep. And Lala is getting real tired of them blowing up the green light. So he gives his team these meta guns, and he tells them specifically to go after Jen. And Jen gets shot. And although it seems at first that she's going to be fine, we see at the end of the episode, like you said, she's up in the air like she's been doing, and she
is falling
starts
from the
to
sky
fall
at a rapid speed. And we don't know who gonna catch baby girl. We don't know who gonna catch baby girl. I just when it comes to that whole situation, first and foremost, Lala and Devontae, they got fire in the camp. It's some stuff ain't going on with their relationship. Lala is, granted, he is pissed that Tobias out here on the streets and he want him dead. I get it. But the way that they kind of conversing, the way he talking to him, them two gonna be at heads, and one of them gonna try to take each other out. But when we go to Lala, remember the last episode, him and Anissa actually fought together. They actually fought against the Markovians together. And so for him to not, I guess, understand why they doing what they doing is like beyond me. Like, stop selling drugs. It's other ways that you can provide for them. Remember, y'all was selling food at one point. Like, it's other things that y'all can do. It's other business endeavors that y'all can partake in. Obviously, you can't beat them. You know that you can't win. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that he knew, he already knows Anissa's tactics, how she fight, all of that. And I guess he feel like, one blow and he could take her out. But Anissa, I guess he probably thinking Anissa is nothing without Jen. So if we take her out, take her powers, the nuclear bomb is gone, and she's just gonna be out here hurting. And it was a smart move, but because I'm on the good people side, I'm really sad that it happened.
I feel that. I'm interested to see who this mole is because there's clearly someone snitching. I kind of think it might be Devontae.
Snitching to the girls?
Yeah.
You think so?
Lala said that there's a snitch. How else are they finding out about these drug deals? How else did they find out about the fake drug deal or the fake meetup and that they got ambushed and Jen got shot? It's because they set that up. Lala said there was a snitch.
I don't think it. You think it's Devontae?
Kinda.
Because of what he said, boss, we need to be worried about the shipment or something.
I think that I just don't really know who else it would be unless it's a character we haven't been introduced to yet. But I don't think Devontae's a bad guy. I think he's just like a kid who doesn't have a lot of opportunities and is just going where he can have like some security. I think Lala provided that for him, but
That's
now
reasonable.
I don't think he's providing it as much anymore. But let's talk about, so we can wrap this up because we don't have a lot of time left. Let's talk about this season, and kind of going into the season, we found out that this was going to be the final season.
Yeah.
We do know that there is a spinoff with Painkiller.
Jordan.
We know that China is not going to be in this whole season.
Yeah.
So how
That's
are
probably
you?
why she gonna fall.
How are you feeling about
I'm
all
sad.
that?
I'm really sad. Because as you know, I started this show with you from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's how we met.
And I had no idea I would love it so much. It has, brought us so much insight into just, Black power, great Black families who stick together. They put, they threw politics in there. They threw history in there. They threw things in there that helped us understand in a creative way the kind of world that we live in. And it has been a beautiful experience. It has been a wonderful ride to see so many Black superheroes in one setting, just doing the doggone thing, and they family. And most of them are women. It has been an amazing ride. So I'm really sad. Like, I'm sad that this is the last season. I hate to see it go, but I guess I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope that, Jordan Calloway is going to have a spinoff is pretty dope to me. It's pretty dope because now I have something else to look forward to because
Right.
this is coming to an end. But I can already tell by the first episode with Jen falling, I can already tell this is about to be a sad rest of the season.
I think from what I've been reading from like the writers and stuff on Twitter and whatnot, I think we're all going to be satisfied with how this show's wrapped up.
I hope so because I ain't been satisfied with none of the endings and nothing.
I think that I watched China's video that she put out, and that when she announced that she was leaving Black Lightning, before it said that the show was ending on the 4th season, and I definitely respect where she's coming from. She
said she doing God's work. Okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm on. We right here. We right here, China. We doing God's work. Okay, whatever He wants us to do, that's what we doing.
Yeah, I think that's
here for it.
I think that's dope of her, and I'm excited to see what she does next. And I definitely think that this is a cast who really loves each other, and I think you can tell through the show. So I think that however the show ends, it's going to end. I think in an honorable way. I think the Akils are going to make sure that it ends in a way that is satisfying to all of us. I'm interested to see, though. I feel like there's too many good characters to just let them stay on Black Lightning. I feel like I've been watching Jordan Calloway's Instagram, and it's a lot of him and Chantel Twee, who plays Grace on the show. And like we never really got to explore the outsiders on this show.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what if Chantel goes over to the new Painkiller show?
That would be dope.
We have to have Pete, like they can't just, I mean, I guess they could just.
We know for sure they ain't gonna have GM popping up.
Never say never, though. Unless she gets killed off, never say never. Never say never.
To think about her dying hurts my soul.
Because I say this. Because when for the Flash, Keenan Lonsdale, who played Wally West, who's Kid Flash, when he left the show, we all thought we were just never going to see him again. But then he popped up like 2-3 seasons later, like not for good, but he made appearances. So I think anything is possible.
Anything is possible for all of them to make appearances.
Yeah, I just am so interested to know why the show is.
Do you think? I know this is off topic, but do you think his show is going to be based in Freeland still?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so because I would like to think that.
I'm gonna miss Freeland.
I think if they wrap this up where we get a satisfying ending, I feel like we gotta leave Freeland.
And
but I think if we go somewhere else and then like he takes people with him, then like I don't know. I really don't know where it's gonna go. You guys let us know in the comments what you guys are hoping for the new show, what you guys are hoping for
the rest of this season.
Yeah.
It's really so hard to say goodbye.
It is.
And I know we talking about it on the season premiere, but it's just like, how can we not? It's such a great show and it's ending.
Luckily, we'll be in it for a minute because they be having long seasons, Charles.
They do. So we'll be here.
We'll be here. Let us know if Monday nights are working for you guys. If not, we'll switch over to Tuesday nights if that's easier. You guys let us know. But until next time, Portia, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on all social media platforms at Porchia Carter.
And I'm Drew Jones. You guys can find me on all the things at OKDrewJ. We're definitely going to have more guests throughout the season. We know you guys love Lanisha and Zuri and Shay. And they'll all be coming through as well as other fun guests. So
yes, thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight.
Yeah,
we missed y'all. We back.
We are back. We are back. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.